This is the Ansel puzzle from Puzzled Wolf. You may have seen this puzzle online in a wood version. We have the acrylic version here that consists of an orange, yellow, green, and blue layer. It's a sequential discovery puzzle that looks like a camera. Find out more about it in this episode of Puzzle Time. This is the draw video for episode 100. So we have in here, Linnea, was it 73 names? 73, yeah. Linnea put all the names into this box of everybody who's commented from episodes 95 to 99. So you guys all get entered one time per comment into this bin. And we're drawing for Wishing Well and...
This one's 333.
333. These are Pelican puzzles. We're going to do one draw for each puzzle. We'll draw your name out, and you got to send us your information, your shipping information to info@puzzlemaster.ca. That's info@puzzlemaster.ca to claim your puzzle. So Linnea, you're going to draw for yours. Go right ahead. Who is the winner of yours?
So this one is... It's actually one of our most dedicated followers. It is for Dom AZ.
Now she's won before. I think she's from Arizona. So I'll draw for the next one. And our winner is, this is the other one who commented a whole bunch on our videos. Kevin M. Now do you remember what?
Kevin Morty, I think.
Morty? Okay, well, Kevin M. You have won yourself the Wishing Well puzzle, and Dom AZ, you have won yourself the 333. Email us at info@puzzlemaster.ca to claim your winnings, and we'll ship these puzzles to you guys. Thank you very much for entering. Thank you for everybody who watches our videos, and thank you that you brought us to 100 episodes here. We are excited to do that and see what the next 100 looks like.
Pretty crazy.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Welcome to episode 101. Linnea, we're officially in the hundreds of episodes, so welcome. We are shooting two fun puzzles today. Linnea, which one do you want to start with?
I think we should start with the Sentinel.
Sentinel? Okay. Okay, Linnea, you talk about the Sentinel, because this is from Infinite Loop Games. Now, these guys make some really cool wooden puzzles, hey?
If you know ID Venture and what they do with their puzzles, this is a similar style to it, where you have to figure out from these symbols, you have to figure out the codes and solve the solutions.
So the solution is to get it's a lock, right? So you have to get this out.
You have to get the shackle open. And inside the shackle, there's actually a space to hold I think it's like a quarter's worth of space. It can hold. So
you got to find the secret compartment, and you got to find the secret item inside.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're going to be doing it based on so the whole puzzle is it just based on these four?
Yeah. So there's 4 puzzles here. So you have to figure out what this 4-digit code would be, and then that'll figure out a 4-digit number with these. So the dots here are the numbers, and the lines show you which number it lines up, how many dots it lines up with is the number.
Oh, it's like how far out the line goes when it stops.
Yeah.
Right. So you'll get a code based on that.
Yeah.
And then the back here is like a maze looking thing.
Well, that's right. There's multiple puzzles. So this piece matches up with this puzzle. The second piece matches up with this puzzle. The third piece matches up with this puzzle. And the last piece, I'm not giving it away because if I show where it matches up with, it gives away the puzzle.
Okay.
So you have to find each of these pieces on the board.
Okay.
And then if you flip
and then it flips over and that matches with the numbers here.
Yeah.
So there's four different puzzles though, and each of these represents a puzzle.
Yeah. So you have to find the puzzle, and then that'll tell you what number each of these are, and that's part of the code. So.
Oh, and they've got the solution on the back here. So there's a QR code.
Yeah.
Which these guys, this is pretty common. Come on, there we go. This is pretty common for standard for infinite loop games, right? They put a QR code to the.
And then it goes through and it explains each puzzle and explains what number goes with each puzzle.
Okay.
I did a short video on it, so if you want to see a quick version of the solution and not too in depth of a description.
Oh, and this thing's spring loaded.
I didn't even know that's spring loaded.
Weird.
There.
You can push that, and that's spring loaded. Interesting, huh? I like infinite loop game stuff. This is really cool, unique. I feel like some of their recent releases have been really unique stuff.
Yeah.
So they're getting into some, like, I mean, I think they started right with those boxes, and they were all like a little bit similar, but they would progressively get harder the bigger ones you got. But I like some of this. Like some of this, their recent releases have been really cool.
And this is a level 9. Some of their other couple ones that we've had that were newer recently haven't been as high levels.
Oh yeah,
and this one's a little bit higher, but
so it's a little harder.
It is more
harder difficulty. Level 9 on the Puzzle Master difficulty rating scale.
Yeah.
Don't forget that runs from 5 to 10, so it's a little different.
And it said there was 10 steps to solve, so I don't know if that means because there's 4 different puzzles, but then within, so I didn't understand why there's 10 different steps, maybe 4 puzzles, and then you have to enter the 4-digit code, and then pulling it open was a step. I don't know what that means.
I don't know. Steps is always a little like hard to gauge what exactly someone considers a step when you're doing a puzzle. I found that. I've come across that before. You're like, yeah, I don't know if that's a step or that's a step. So that's cool. Sentinel. I really like that one. I like the design of it. I think it's really cool with all the different symbols and things. I think my favorite thing on this though is just the spring loaded stuff. Like that's a cool feature. So yeah. Cool. Okay, Sentinel. That's puzzle number 1. Go to puzzle number 2. This is the Ansel. Now we have talked, I should have looked it up, but we've talked about this on Puzzle Time before. We actually talked about the wood version of this. This is from Puzzled Wolf. And we talked about the wood version. This is a acrylic version, but the wood version is the one we talked about in one of our episodes. This was back when I was shooting with Tony still. Now, a couple things. I like the little. This is all based on the camera, right? It's supposed to look like a camera. I think the wood one looks more like a camera, and we both kind of like the look of the wood one a little more. But you can see in the bottom here, kind of like the facing here of the camera with the Puzzled Wolf. That's the logo.
Yeah,
you know where
Puzzled really well on the packaging.
Now, Puzzled Wolf is on YouTube too, right?
Yeah, so it's actually a couple channel that do it together. So it's designed by Brandon Wolf, but built by his wife, Sarah Wolf.
Brandon and Sarah, let's see that here. Pull it up right close. So she builds them, he designs them.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, they work together on it. And so your objective on this one is to fully open the viewfinder. So I watched the solution. You can partially open at one point, and then there's another point where you can fully open it. So you have to have it full open. I like I'm a sucker for these little things that are really cool. I like the sticker that they have on there, like with their logo. I really like that. That's cool. And even should I go off camera and take out the tool so it doesn't spoil it for them? Like
what do
I
you
can show them. It's a sequential discovery, so there's a tool you have to use to help you solve it. I don't know if they don't want a spoiler alert or not, but
yeah. Well, if you guys don't want to see it, why don't you pull out the tool? Just hold on. Give them a second. If you don't want to see the tool on this, look away, shut the video off, come back in a second, whatever. Go ahead, pull it out.
So you can do it without them knowing what happened too. Yeah.
How'd that pop
So what
out?
happened is this is spring loaded. So you have to push the bolt. It's just a little tiny bit of a push, not lots. You can feel just a little bit of movement. The top one here on this side. So it's just like a slight movement.
I don't know if I'd get that. It'd take me a while to get that, I think.
Well, I knew that I looked at here and I could see that there was something inside there. I didn't know how to get it out. So I had to get a hint from Mr. Puzzle.
But the flex on that's cool.
Yeah. It's a very small flex.
You can see it. You can see it, yes. When you look in there, you can see the tool.
Like, it's such a small flex.
It's such a small flex. That's well made. Definitely go check out Puzzled Wolf on YouTube. We've mentioned his videos, their videos before. I guess it's Brandon and Sarah Wolf. But we've mentioned them on here before. It's some great videos. Good puzzle. I love this. Love the design of this. So that's really cool. That's the Ansel. Go to puzzlemaster.ca and you can find both the Ansel and the Sentinel on our website. So yeah. Let's get into the online buzz.
Online buzz.
Okay, online buzz. What do you want to start with?
I'll start with the valve.
Valve? Okay. Do we have it here? Where did we put it?
I think it's over there.
Hold
on.
on.
The table.
I'm gonna go grab it. Okay, you start talking. This is new from Hanayama, right?
So we talked about it on the live last week. This is just a sample that we got of it. Our first shipment is on the way, hopefully. We are expecting it by mid-November here.
Yeah, now this is, when you say live, let me ask, it means Facebook Live.
Yeah, sorry.
We do a Facebook Live every Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Saskatchewan time here, Saskatchewan, Canada. So I think it usually ends up being Central Standard Time, but our time zones are a little goofy. But you can check it out there. We do talk about it a bit. This is the packaging here, and you'll notice that this is the Japanese characters on this. So when we at Puzzle Master here, the first shipment of puzzles we get in from Hanayama generally have this the Japanese characters. They haven't done the English translation yet. So that is what this is. We were watching this puzzle on Mr. Puzzle's channel on YouTube. Let's crack it open here. We'll take a look at it.
So this puzzle is designed by Vesa Timonen.
Vesa Timonen. Yeah, he's Finnish designer.
Yeah, he does, well, we have a list of 5 other ones he does. He does a bunch of puzzles, but from Hanayama, he did Square, UFO, Donuts, Slider, and Infinity. So you might recognize some of his stuff from there.
Yeah, it's got a similar style to some of his stuff. This is one other interesting thing that Hanayama's changed a bit of their packaging, and they do this from time to time. But on the top here, you'll see there's a scannable QR code, and then I don't even know what this is. There's a 6 in there, but I don't know what else it says.
That's their difficulty. No, that's not their difficulty.
It's not the difficulty though. This is a 4 out of 6 for them. So I don't know. Maybe that is. Maybe it isn't. I don't know what that is. Also different. There's actually a few things. They changed a fair bit of stuff. So you get this inside. It says Puzzle A to Z. And what does S mean? I don't know what that means. Any idea? I have no idea what that means. Yeah, I don't know.
Could not tell.
And it says brand statement, and then there's a whole bunch more Japanese
we'll
stuff. Yeah, when we get to
English,
I'd be interested to see what some of this says or what it means and what's going on. Maybe this won't be in the English version. Yeah. There's actually one other thing I noticed that there's different in their packaging. Now, if you're familiar with Hanayama, you'll know that when they get this, you get these inside pieces. Usually they have like a couple of pieces of tape holding it shut. They did little tabs now that hold that shut. Not a huge thing, but I like it, especially when if you're repackaging your puzzles. This actually makes it a ton easier now that it holds shut like that without having to have some tape back there. Not a huge change, but I really like that. I like some of the little changes they made on this. It's really good. Again, Vesa Timonen. It's called the Cast Valve. It's a level 4 out of 6. So what do you think? This would be like an 8 on ours?
It'd be a 9.
8 or 9?
Oh, 8 or 9, yeah.
8 or 9. Sometimes it depends. We adjust things a little bit here and there. So essentially what this puzzle consists of, and you'll see it on the back here, is there is the brass part, or whatever color that is 2 parts actually. There's an inner piece that spins. Here, let me show this here. An inner piece that spins on its own there, and then this outer piece spins here too. And then there's 2 of these silver pieces inside. We did watch Mr. Puzzle solve this. If you do want to see the solve, go to Mr. Puzzle's channel. He always does a really good job explaining solves. So yeah, this is good. Yeah, I struggle with this kind of a puzzle. Hanayama has a few similar designs like this. I think some of them are Vesa's designs, but I don't know. I struggle to get my mind wrapped around these puzzles for whatever reason, but that's one of the places we went with Mr. Puzzle. And I think he's the first place I've seen that has anything to do with this one. It kind of almost was a surprise coming out. Usually I feel like with Hanayama stuff, we hear about it, you see it in certain places. This one just kind of came out, and I didn't see it anywhere beforehand.
I heard it on the Hanayama enthusiast page. Somebody had asked when the new puzzle's coming out. Then I go down and talk to Leon or Alan and see what they say about it. So
yeah. So there it is, Cast Valve. Give you a little bit of idea there. And again, go watch Mr. Puzzle's video to see the solve. Next, we went to a YouTube channel by a guy named Dan Alterman. Now, you might recognize his name. He did a Chris Ramsey video, right, Linnea?
A puzzle that was in one of his videos.
Yes, that's what I meant. One of his puzzles, Chris Ramsey did. Yeah. And which puzzle was that? That was the
toaster puzzle.
Toaster puzzle, yeah. So I remember that had a little wooden piece of toast in there. There's a combination lock on the side here. It was a good video. I enjoyed the puzzle. And Dan has a fairly new puzzle within the last year at least. It was called Screw This, and it's a big wooden puzzle box. We looked it up. He has it available on his Etsy channel, and actually, oddly enough, that is the only thing available on his Etsy channel. It was $1,000 Canadian, so it was a pretty expensive puzzle, but it looked like a big square box with a rod coming out of the top, a wooden dowel or something. You had to get the dowel out. Really beautiful puzzle. I think this guy does great work. The unfortunate part is we watched his last video he posted, and he is officially done with puzzles. He is moving on, and seemed like maybe he just didn't have time anymore. He talked about like homeschooling his kids and things. So
he may eventually come back once his kids are out of school, but maybe. I don't know. You might have to find his puzzles on auction sites. So there's a few left on his site that you can get now. But
there was only that one. It was just that Screw This puzzle. It was the only thing I could see available on his Etsy page. So I mean, chances are it's just not going to be available anymore. So I mean, honestly, go get them while you can. Seems like the guy's maybe stepping away from puzzles permanently, or at least in the short term. So Dan Alterman, go check out his channel. He had a lot of cool puzzles. I actually really liked some of the stuff we saw there. But yeah, you can only get Screw This now. So. Okay, next we went on to, this is one of my favorites, Engineer Bruns on YouTube. I love Engineer Bruns' channel. I love his puzzles. They're really good. Which one? So we watched two videos actually. The first one was, I think, one I really liked. It wasn't a super hard puzzle, but it was called the coin trap puzzle. Essentially, there was like a plastic, I don't know, it looked like a shield almost. It was clear acrylic, and you could see that there was a smile, like almost like a smile track, like a half circle track where these ball bearings were running in there. And in that track, there was also a slot that a coin would go in and out. And so the coin would go in. It was really easy to push the coin in and push the balls out of the way. But getting it back out was the hard part, and you had to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, because you have to do it without touching the balls. You just have to do it by the...
Yeah, I don't think you...
touching the acrylic.
You couldn't actually... I don't think you could manipulate the balls because they're in there.
You could if you really tried to with a tool, maybe.
Maybe. I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah, I guess, yeah. But there's no external tools that are required. That's pretty standard, like, puzzle rules. So... I liked it. If you want to see the solution, go to Engineer Bruns' channel. We watched the video there. I thought it was a really cool puzzle. I liked it. But we also watched another one, Linnea. You want to talk about this?
This is the Excalibur puzzle. It was specially made many years ago in IPP by someone else. He just did a remake of the design.
Yeah, I think it was Dan Feldman. I think it was a Dan Feldman design.
Yeah.
It was from IPP 19. So this is not an Engineer Bruns puzzle, but it is one that he's just showing the design of how it works. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah. So what happens in the puzzle is there's a couple ball bearings in there, and you have to move them around.
Well, first let's explain what the puzzle looks like. It's a little cube, square essentially, and out the top there's a tiny little sword that comes out, and you got to get the sword out.
Yeah.
But yeah, inside, Linnea, like Linnea was saying, there's some ball bearings.
Yeah, and once you get them locked into place, then you can solve the puzzle pretty easy.
Actually, we figured there's only one ball bearing and a pin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked it. It wasn't super hard. He showed actually a really cool view of the puzzle because he showed himself playing with the top, and then he showed a bottom view of what's happening inside with the ball bearing. And for me, it clicked instantly what was going on. Linnea had to help me with some of the other stuff that was actually happening as he did get it out. But essentially what happens at the end is the sword comes out. And I thought it was a really cool puzzle. We tried to find it for sale, couldn't. We tried to find stuff from IPP 19, which, as it turns out, happened in 1999, which was before Puzzle Master was going to IPP. So we do not have that puzzle, which I was a little disappointed with because we wanted to show it here to you guys on video, but yeah, no luck.
Yeah.
So go to Engineer Bruns' channel. You can see it there. Like I said, I think it's a Dan Feldman design. Maybe wrong on that. I think it was Dan Feldman.
I think we only carry one of the Engineer Bruns puzzles anyways on our site.
Yeah,
so
yeah, he has some good stuff.
It'd be nice to get some more of his.
Yeah, go check out his channel though. Watch those two videos. He has a lot of other stuff going on and quite a few other puzzles. So yeah, go find them there. But that is the end of our episode. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. You can definitely go check us out online at a few different spots on there.
On TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, but right now our Instagram's down. So you can still see everything. We just can't contact you through it. So we're having issues with just getting into our Instagram, but you can still see everything on there. We just won't have new posts for a bit of time.
Yeah, that's what happens when you forget your password every place. Yeah. So yeah, Instagram, do you say all this? Facebook,
YouTube, TikTok,
yeah.
Facebook.
Go to our webpage. We've talked about it before. You can sign up for our newsletter on their webpage. Definitely do that because we do a lot of cool stuff in that newsletter, especially with releasing new stuff. And then go to Facebook and you can watch our Facebook Live, which we've talked about before. It releases on Thursdays, 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And in there, you'll see all the brand new stuff coming in here at Puzzle Master, often stuff that even days, weeks before it's going to be posted on our site, available for sale, just to kind of give you like inside views of what's going on.
Yeah, and if you want some fun puzzles to do on Facebook too, we do post brain teasers daily.
Yes.
New different ones, some that we made personally here, some that we have taken from other people that they allow us to post. So
yeah, it's a great resource. We have lots of that here at Puzzle Master. Go check out our website, puzzlemaster.ca. Make sure you subscribe to our channel here. Click the bell to get notifications when we put out new videos. Like this video, and yeah, thanks guys for watching. We'll see you again next episode.